Chapter 12 A Time to Mourn. A profound sense of sadness shrouded the Martinson home. I dropped by to visit only hours after Marty had died. Mickey and I hugged each other, and our bodies shook with grief. Holding her, I whispered, "I'm so sorry, Mick." She said, "I know." I followed Mickey into the kitchen, and we sat down at the table where Marty had taught me so much. Members of their family moved about, not quite knowing what to do. "We were thinking," Mickey said, "that maybe Marty should wear his red Walmart vest in the coffin. That's how people remember him. What do you think?" In an instant, I couldn't think. I just began to cry. Mickey handed me a tissue. In my head, I could see him lying there, lifeless yet strangely proud. My mind's eye seemed to focus on one thing, the name tag bearing Marty in bold letters. It would be the same badge I had seen the first time I met him. The thought of Marty's body wearing that vest was so sad, yet so very right. The funeral was set for a Friday morning at a church in our town. The family assembled in the church basement a half hour before the service. I was asked to join them as I was to give the eulogy I had promised Marty 4 months earlier. "It's time," the funeral director told us. We marched up the steps and followed Marty's coffin, now covered with an American flag, into the worship hall. The church was so filled with people I couldn't pick out any one person. All had filed past the coffin. He appeared as so many would remember him, wearing the red Walmart vest, the name tag Marty pinned on the breast. Then the coffin was closed and draped with an American flag brought to the front of the hall. There was a song, some readings, and another song. The next thing I knew, I was standing at the pulpit talking about my friend. I took Marty's advice and took all the time I needed, filling the eulogy with his favorite stories. There was laughter and some tears. I read from some of the cards sent to Marty when he was in the hospital. I felt it was important to share what other people thought of him, too. One woman wrote, "Heard you were not feeling well. I'm praying for you and hoping you will recover soon. I enclosed a photo of myself with my husband and family as I was not sure you would remember me by name but thought you would remember the face. I've moved to Wisconsin now, but remember your warmth and consider you one of those special people I shall never forget. God made you special, Marty, with a heart twice as big as most folks, and I love you for it." To me, Marty represented everything a person of God should be. As the After the pastor spoke, two members of the local American Legion post, dressed in ceremonial attire, took positions at each end of the coffin. They carefully lifted the American flag off the coffin and slowly folded it into a neat triangle. The group leader, now holding the folded flag, walked towards the Martinson family. Mickey and the family stood up. The leader presented the flag to Mickey and said, "On behalf of the President of the United States and the people of a grateful nation, may I present this flag as a token of appreciation for the honorable and faithful service your loved ones rendered this nation." I could hear people weeping. The funeral director, another one of Marty's friends, had suggested a beautiful tribute for the conclusion of the service. A handshake had been Marty's signature to the world, so Marty's coffin was rolled into the entranceway of the worship hall. As people filed by, they placed a hand on the coffin, the gesture, a final handshake for a friend. Anyone in our town who had not heard about Marty's death would have learned about it by reading our local newspaper. The obituary in its pages captured his spirit and probably would have made him blush. Marty left an indelible mark on the many people who passed through his service line at Walmart, the newspaper observed. No one was a stranger in his line, merely a friend in waiting. His life, guided by his positive attitude, was an inspiration to many people. Saddened by the loss of a husband, father, and friend, people take comfort in knowing that heaven has found a new greeter. That weekend, I found myself drawn to Walmart. There was an eerie emptiness when I walked into the store, but I had heard that Marty's coworkers did something special in honor of him, and I needed to see it. Aisle 9 had been Marty's cash register. It was now decorated with balloons, flowers, pictures of Marty, candles, and a bowl of candy. The light above the cash register was on, signifying that Marty was at his post. Large sheets of poster board lay on the counter for people to write personal thoughts to Marty and his family. From a safe distance, I watched as shoppers as they stopped to pay their respects. Many stood silently, stared at the pictures, and wiped tears from their eyes. I recognized a woman who lived in another town. She was visibly moved, and I stepped forward to ask her if she was all right. "I only saw him once a month for just a few minutes," she said while crying. "He was just such a sweet man." A young woman with brightly dyed red hair spent 5 minutes looking at the pictures and reading some of the notes that people had left. Then she gathered her things and went through a checkout line. She had walked 20 feet towards the exit before she stopped and put her bags on the ground. She went back to aisle 9 and wrote a note, not able to leave without saying goodbye. "Hundreds of people did this. Thank you for making me smile," wrote Christine. A man named Bob wrote, "Marty, you were always so nice to me and my mother." Cheryl penned, We always went out of our way to stand in Marty's line. He made our day. A woman by the name of Sharon wrote, "We need more Martys in this world." Yes, Sharon, we certainly do. No one was a stranger in his line, merely just a friend in waiting.